Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight in the history of boxing.
Been too much for Crawford. Crawford in his last fight against Madrov, that was a tough fight for him. About a guy, what, he had 10 or 11 pro fights. That was a tough fight for him.
In my opinion, both size might matter, but then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing.
After the controversy surrounding Jake Paul's potential fight, Canelo Alvarez has once again become the center of attention, with reports confirming a shocking 4-fight deal. Recent developments suggest that the rumors of a bout between Canelo and Jake Paul were merely a publicity stunt, strategically designed to generate buzz ahead of a far bigger announcement. Respected boxing journalist Mike Coppinger took to Twitter to share an ESPN report detailing the dramatic shifts in Canelo's business dealings. According to Coppinger, Alvarez backed out of the rumored fight with Jake Paul at the last minute to finalize a blockbuster agreement with Riyadh Season, securing 4 high-profile bouts. The deal includes a May fight in Saudi Arabia and a massive September showdown against Terence "Bud" Crawford, one of boxing's pound-for-pound best. The news was further confirmed by His Excellency Turki Alalshikh, the key figure behind Saudi Arabia's recent push into the boxing world. Addressing the wave of speculation and criticism surrounding Canelo's recent moves, Turkey took to Twitter to declare that despite the skepticism, the promise had been fulfilled. He emphasized that the deal with Canelo, one of the sport's most prominent figures, will not only deliver long-awaited fights to the fans, but also elevate Riyadh as a global boxing hub. While excitement builds around Canelo's September clash with Crawford, Turkey also hinted at an even bigger spectacle set for May 2024. He claimed this event would be the biggest fight in the history of the sport, fueling speculation about who Alvarez's opponent could be.
In Riyadh in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September, then 2 more fights in 26. Don't miss.
Bouts in 2026, reinforcing Saudi Arabia's growing influence in boxing. This latest move follows the kingdom's recent success in hosting major fights featuring Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder, solidifying its position as a premier destination for combat sports. Canelo's choice of opponents has been widely debated in recent months, with many questioning his willingness to take on high-risk fights. However, with Crawford now locked in as a confirmed opponent, the Mexican superstar appears to be embracing the biggest challenges available. This historic 4-fight deal marks a turning point in Canelo's career, shifting the focus from speculation to action. As the boxing world eagerly awaits further details, one thing is clear: 2024 and beyond could define Alvarez's legacy in ways fans never expected.
Both of them are jockeying back and forth with their egos and their power. So this fight very well may happen, probably still will. But I think it's going to take we're not going to hear about it till, like I said, normal.
Canelo Alvarez's upcoming opponents, aside from Terence Crawford, have yet to be revealed. Speculation is running rampant. Respected boxing journalist Mike Coppinger believes that Canelo's highly anticipated May fight in Saudi Arabia will feature either Jermall Charlo or Bruno Saez, depending on their availability. Looking ahead to 2026, Coppinger suggests that a potential rematch with Dmitry Bivol, the Russian powerhouse who handed Canelo a rare defeat, could be on the horizon. Other names being floated include Hamza Shiraz and Chris Eubank Jr., with their performances over the next year likely determining whether they secure a spot in Canelo's historic 4-fight contract. Following the shocking announcement, fighters involved in the speculation have come forward to express their excitement.
Fight's off, correct me if I'm wrong.
Currently, that's what we've seen.
Yeah, off in September, and the word in the street is they're trying to make him against Jake Paul, and one of the sticking points is maybe the weight. Money had determined that, wasn't it? Everybody said they want to see Jake Paul fight somebody. He's going to be fighting somebody. Tough fight. I mean, I want.
Who typically remains silent until his fights are officially confirmed, took to Twitter to respond to His Excellency Turki Alalshikh's post, showing his enthusiasm for both the lucrative deal and his September bout against Crawford. Shortly after, Terence Crawford also broke his silence, expressing his determination to prove himself in what will be the biggest fight of his career. The undisputed welterweight champion made it clear that he's prepared to give everything he has to cement his legacy by defeating Canelo. While many in the boxing community are celebrating this historic moment, not everyone is pleased. A vocal minority has criticized the deal, questioning both the fighters involved and the management behind the scenes. Among the loudest critics is none other than Jake Paul, who appears to be fuming over the way his name was used in the build-up to this announcement. Jake Paul, who was at the center of the now debunked rumors about a potential fight with Canelo, has made his frustrations publicly known. The YouTuber-turned-boxer feels that his name was exploited to generate attention for a deal that had nothing to do with him. Taking to Twitter, Jake indirectly called out both Canelo and Turki Alalshikh, accusing them of using underhanded promotional tactics. He also criticized modern boxing's emphasis on money and fame over loyalty and true competition. Fighters forget who made them so quick and bring around these weirdos who live to make a % fee off them. You and your 2010 business skills are making no attempt at hiding it. He continued by expressing his disappointment.
Fight panning out from your perspective, obviously.
I fancied Canelo. I think Canelo is I mean, with the greatest respect to him, he's obviously older and whatever, and I think he's when you get to a certain time in your career where you're not going to get any better, you're only going to get worse. And but I still think he would be too big and too much for
Canelo, accusing him of choosing easier fights rather than taking on the toughest challenges available. Paul, who has long campaigned for a fight with Canelo, views this decision as a sign of cowardice rather than strategy. Regardless of everything I've worked for in the pursuit of fighting the best of the best, these so-called elite fighters still find a way to duck me. They take easy fights where they have a safety net of winning, which only proves they were never as great as people claimed. Paul, who has positioned himself as a major disruptor in boxing, then took direct shots at Canelo's career and legacy, questioning his impact on the sport beyond the ring. He also suggested that Canelo has lost touch with his roots and the Mexican fans who have supported him. Breaking news: Canelo Alvarez ducked me. He's now an owned slave with no regard for the pride of the Mexican people who support him on US soil. It's not surprising that his whole career he has done nothing for the sport of boxing outside the ring. I'm the new face of boxing. Paul then shifted focus to his own career, emphasizing the global attention his upcoming fight against Mike Tyson has received. He argued that while Canelo continues to chase financial gain, he himself is the one bringing excitement and fresh energy to the sport. Despite the criticism, Canelo's 4-fight deal with Riyadh Season marks one of the most significant moves in modern boxing. The deal not only guarantees fans some of the most sought-after matchups, but also solidifies Saudi Arabia's growing role in hosting major combat sports events. With a May fight still to be officially confirmed and a blockbuster bout against Terence Crawford in September, Canelo Alvarez is once again at the center of the boxing world. While skeptics like Jake Paul continue to voice their frustrations, the reality is that the Mexican superstar is now locked into a historic deal, one that will define his legacy for years to come. As fans eagerly await more details about Canelo's upcoming opponents, one thing is certain: boxing in 2024 and beyond is set to be more electrifying than ever. This version refines the structure, making it more engaging and professional while maintaining the intensity of the original. Let me know if you'd like any more tweaks. Jake Paul has transformed into a global sensation and is now recognized as one of the most influential figures in boxing. Given his meteoric rise, he believes that any major fight event should include his name. Otherwise, such claims of organizing the biggest fight are nothing more than a facade meant to appease fans. Though it is clear that Paul is frustrated by Canelo Alvarez's refusal to fight him, he attempted to appear unfazed in his latest social media response. Rather than dwelling on the snub, Paul declared that over the next few years he will reshape the sport entirely and cement himself as the true face of boxing. You cannot have the biggest fight of 2025 without my name involved. When all of your events tank and lose money, you will all realize who the king of the sport is. 28 years old, the biggest fight in boxing history. My own boss. Have not been owned for 5 years, and all you felines want to see me fail. But God has other plans. It's the era of God, the era of the elephant, the era of MVP. Paul also took shots at critics who have long undermined his unconventional approach to boxing, particularly targeting former fighter and analyst Chris Algieri, who previously dismissed his legitimacy in the sport. Meanwhile, Turki Alalshikh has also stepped forward to address the controversy. While he didn't mention Paul by name, the Saudi official took to Twitter to defend his decisions, emphasizing that negotiations for major fights often take time and require strategic planning behind the scenes. He suggested that while not every deal can be publicized immediately, that does not give people the right to make baseless accusations or criticize things they don't fully understand. As the dust settles, Paul remains defiant, continuing to push his narrative that he is the true powerhouse of modern boxing. However, with Canelo's blockbuster 4-fight deal now in place, Paul may have to wait a little longer before he gets a shot at proving his claim in the